Welcome. Moment to just center and be here, be present. Wait for people to start filtering in a little bit and just be thankful that we're here and that it's now still, again, always. So today, Wednesday, maybe the 13th of May, I think, 2020. And as much as our vision is scattered, our vision is also coming together. This is a time of unbelievable upheaval, fear, possibility, beauty. And you can feel it. It's not just it happened, it was present and growing before this present health thing that's happening. And there's a lot going on. But no matter what is going on and what is not going on and what we're called to do, we're always first and foremost, last and always, and in the middle. Granted, we can't spend all of our time doing this. We can and we can't. We can be conscious and mindful through the day, through our actions and through our doing. We can be conscious of our being, aware, observing. But after the necessities of life have been taken care of, food, clothing, shelter, free time, safety, and company. After we have these things, then it's time to clear the lamp, clean the windows, strip away the layers, the veils. Because ultimately we're not here to just get by and survive. Although if we're not so getting by and surviving, then yeah, that's primary. But once we've taken care of that, or that's basically taken care of, or basically under control, or basically happening, which it is for those of us that are here, probably, and if not, needs to be addressed, obviously. If you're not breathing, the most important thing is breath. If you're not eating, it's food, and so forth. But once we have these things, then we're here not just to survive and have those 6 things taken care of. Those are necessary preconditions to what we're really here for, which is to be and bring joy, or be and bring light, or be and bring love, or be and bring compassion, or be and bring kindness, or be and bring integrity. That's what we're going to talk about today, integrity. Now, all of these qualities, as present as they are also, they're lacking in the fiber of our culture. And they're not, to a great extent or to a complete extent, they're not integrated into our personal beings. These things that we're here to be and bring. Integrity. What is integrity? Integrity is honesty. It's being the same inside as outside. It's being the same in different contexts. It's not hiding, it's not manipulating, it's not lying, it's not constructing or maintaining falseness. That's what it's not. What it is it is a natural expression of a being that is unified, that is not in contradiction, that is not trying to maintain a false identity. What is a false identity? Basically, the whole culture and the whole society teaches us to be false identities, to be identified with gender, class, money, things that you have and don't have, what we think people think about us and what we think about ourselves, and endless likes and dislikes, clubs, groups, religions, political organizations, sports teams, groups, hobbies. I like this food, I don't like that food. I like this country, I don't like that country. Race, color, creed, ethnicity, all of these things. Now, these are facts. I may actually be someone who does tend towards broccoli and tend away from asparagus, for example. I may be gendered male. I may be of this skin color. I may be of this background, of this part of the world that is identified. A nation, for example, is a false identity. Of course it's a false identity. A nation, I am German, Croatian, Zimbabwean, Trinidadian, American, Brazilian, wherever it is I'm from, I think I'm from. These are artificial lines that we've drawn as human beings that don't exist. The iguana, the wolf, the oak tree, these just live. They don't understand or honor these artificial distinctions that we've created. And we'll put like a line in a latitude or a longitude. And in this line, this will separate me from you. My identification. This is a false identification. It may be factually true in the world we live in, but once we identify, I am this, that means I am not that. That means you are that and I am this. There's automatically a friction, a conflict, a dichotomy. There is not this, there's this. Potentially this. There can be this, there can be appreciation, but there's the way that we use these things is to choose allies and to choose enemies, us and them. Now, us and them on a national level, then we get us and them, we're in a given country. I'm in the United States, so I'm in New York. I identify, for example, with New York. Chicago, another city. Well, sports teams, I don't know, weather, culture, shopping, whatever it is, conflict, us and them. The different boroughs of New York. Queens, Brooklyn. But then we have a threat, and all of a sudden Queens and Brooklyn are like this against Chicago. Then we have a larger threat. All of a sudden New York and Chicago are allied against whatever the threat is. Now the permanent threat here is called terrorism. Or perhaps we have a global threat, and we're all like this, COVID. There's no us and there's no them. It's all falseness. So bringing the definition of self closer and closer to this skin bag, this self-contained, individuated human unit. And this unit internally is also fragmented. You wake up in the morning and you look at yourself and you think, damn, you're looking good. And then an hour and a half later, you look at yourself in the bathroom at work and it's like, whoa, I look terrible. Or you just have an interaction with someone and you think, wow, I'm quite something. You don't say it that way to yourself, but you have that feeling. You were impressive. The person seemed to really like what you were saying. And then you hear someone say something that person didn't like what you were saying. Or you have another interaction with someone else, the same individual, And that interaction doesn't go well. The person shows disapproval, or that they don't like you, or they're not interested in, and all of a sudden, this feels bad about itself. Just a minute ago, an hour and a half ago, it felt good about itself. What changed here? Nothing changed here. Nothing. In an hour and a half, things are changing infinitely, but as far as the identification that this has about itself, it didn't change. The identification that this has is good, bad, beautiful, ugly, smart, stupid. And then, of course, there are arrogant personalities who always think that they're intelligent. But what they're doing is they're maintaining an idea of intelligence. If you really are confident with something, there's no need for arrogance. Or there's a complete insecurity. Arrogance, insecurity, what's the difference? It's simply one form of identification with too much or too little. Both are uncalled for, both are false. So this being is not unified. A unified self is a baby. A unified self is a 1.5-year-old, 2, 3-year-old. Even then, they're already beginning. We are already beginning to become conflicted because we're learning this. In certain indigenous cultures, small tribal cultures connected to the land, these people don't go through these alienations. They have a sense of, on the other hand, there's also less possibility. What we have is an unbelievable possibility for self-expression and expansion. Perhaps the indigenous person does as well, but they don't. I'm talking about the indigenous person in a small tribal culture, pre-industrial, for example. That person doesn't have the choice or the ability to go to a completely different place, have a Google translator. All these possibilities are not there. On the other hand, that person, there are cultures where people have one identity and it doesn't get fragmented by their culture because their culture is not fragmented. But that's not us. These phones here, this technology, the way that we're bombarded, the way that we all have to have a certain number of likes and attention and we can't be quiet, try putting your phone away for one day. I know there's emergencies and there's things, there's responsibilities. I'm talking about a day without a cell phone. I'm talking about a day without the television and the cell phone. We are conditioned from birth and constantly and increasingly to have many different expressions of this personality in different situations. We are terrified. We are terrified that we're not pulling things off. Because when you're holding together a false identity, meaning I am so this, I am so that, I am anything that's not a factual identification. I am this skin color because it is a skin color, the same as this is the color that it is. Not because it's a value, not because it's an identification, because it's a simple fact. Like a 3-year-old says, look, mommy, brown. And it's not that person, that child is not making a judgment about the person's skin, merely an observation. Look, mommy, white. Look, mommy, green. Look, mommy, pink, or whatever that color is. So what we have is this very false series of identifications. And because they're false, we're always struggling to hold it together. And because we're struggling to hold it together and it's not real, it's always we feel always under assault. We always feel fear. Now, fear is biologically self-protection. The tiger is attacking and we run or we fight. That's fear. We now have psychological fear, emotional fear, and spiritual fear because we're living from identities that are not unified and at peace with themselves. Integrity. Why do we want integrity? We want integrity because without integrity, there's no peace of mind. Without peace of mind, there's no ground for joy. Peace of mind is what we need just to begin. Integrity is what it is that is expressed when we are unified. Or, since we're not unified, simple fact that we're not unified as we stand now, as we speak now, we are working towards unification, which is why we're here on Diamond Heart, which is why we're doing the reading and the meditation that we're doing, to integrate, to drop that which is false. The 3-year-old is real. they have integrity. You can see the truth. They don't hide the truth. They don't know how to hide it yet. They're learning slowly. But integrity is what it is that either it expresses from a true and unified nature, or we use it as one of the tools to build a unified and true nature. So integrity means to tell the truth to ourselves first. There's limited integrity, there's relative integrity, which means you can be a Nazi with integrity, which means you are true to the Nazi party. Now that's a form of integrity, but that's not an absolute form of integrity, because what's happened is that person, or you can be a racist of any kind, or a sexist of any kind, or a narcissist of any kind. You can have integrity within your small group. But that's not full integrated. Integrity is the full non-relative integrity can only come from an identity that includes all. Once there's an identity that includes all, if I believe that this, let's just say this skin color is superior. Let's say that that's what this believes. Then that means I have integrity within the group of people that look like me, and then I cheat, abuse, exploit people that don't look like me. That's not integrity. That's relative integrity. It's like intelligence without heart. To be intelligent can destroy the world. Intelligence with heart, wisdom, loving intelligence, that saves the world, that builds. So a true integrity sees all fellow humans, and then to broaden the integrity, it sees all fellow life. What is it about? I don't want to make any judgments about eating meat or not eating meat, but what is it about the cow that is less valuable in absolute terms than the human? There's nothing. Just mammalian life forms give birth to live young. We have love. Now, I don't know if alligators have love or not. People with snakes, they tell me they do, they don't. I don't know. But mammals and birds raise their young. We have the actual biology of love built in for that reason. We're group creatures. So to have an identity that includes all humans, then all life, then all non-life, meaning the earth, the air, this creates full integrity. If my integrity is just to the humans, then I'm abusing the animals. That's relative integrity. If I have integrity to life, then I'm abusing what I consider the earth, because I don't see the earth as alive. Or maybe I do. But if I don't see the earth as alive, then I'm abusing the earth. And that's not a full integrity. I will suffer. Anytime I don't have full integrity, I suffer. What do I suffer? I suffer a lack of peace of mind. Now that doesn't mean that I don't pull the broccoli out of the ground and eat the broccoli. I kill the broccoli. To live is to kill. This biology is constantly killing to survive. There's millions and millions and millions of viruses and bacteria right now. Billions. Some of them are helpful and symbiotic, and some of them are contrary to this being, and this being is automatically, by its structure, by its nature, killing these other creatures. So integrity doesn't mean that we don't sometimes do harm. It means that we're honest, truthful, respectful. There are a few things that are opposite to integrity. Dishonesty of any kind. Dishonesty to myself, first of all, because I have different falsenesses within myself. The conflicts, the reason that we have moods and tempers, the reasons that we have internal yeses and nos, depending on times, depending on what happens to us, what doesn't happen to us. these things are, of course, something lovely happened. It's a bright, beautiful day. Someone dies. I mean, these things make us feel certain ways. But there's an integrity of a unity of self, of being, that deals with each of these things with the same overall energy. And that can express as sadness. And sometimes we kill a life form to eat the life form. And sometimes we kill life forms. I put hydrogen peroxide on this right here so that the bacteria would die and I wouldn't get an infection. That's not a lack of integrity. A lack of integrity is when I show different faces to myself. I believe different things about myself at different times. I show different faces to different people. I manipulate people. This is primary to our culture, to our society, to our economic and consumer culture. We are conditioned to manipulate others. What does it mean when I have, now this is not a lack of integrity in the context of where we are, but what does it mean when I try, well, it can be a lack of integrity, and it usually is. Usually when two people meet in a marketplace, the unstated but understood idea is, I will try to get as much from you and give you as little as I can. This is considered to be virtue. The virtue of our economic system, of our psychological and cultural system, is that we are encouraged to take as much as possible and give as little as possible. This is insanity. And it's not integrity, because what it does is it takes you as less valuable as me. It's a form of narcissism. Narcissism is the opposite of integrity. Narcissism says, this is the only reality. And all of that conforms to this, or I will have a negative reaction. Narcissists are very, very delicate, because nothing ever works the way they want. Nothing ever works the way any of us want it to work. But the narcissist doesn't understand that it's maybe working for the larger self, or for you may be benefiting from something. How can you be benefiting if I'm not getting what I want, when what I want is for you to give me what you have? This is what is truly valuable increases with giving. Yes, the necessities of life, but there is more than enough necessities of life. It's a matter of how we manage them. It's a matter of how we manage our reproduction. It's a matter of how we manage resources. So it's not that we don't have enough. There's plenty for everybody. And we could have less people. We don't have to reproduce like this. I don't need another kid. I can adopt. There's plenty of children that need a home. So the necessities of life, there's enough for everybody. Then after that, when I want more than what's necessary, it's okay to want more than what's necessary. But when it's taking it from you, there's one sports car and one donkey cart. Well, I'm going to jump in the sports car and drive away as quickly as I can and not ever think about it again. What does that mean? Well, it's a sickness. It's a sickness. The only things of value after the necessities, we want more stuff, okay. But what really has value is that which increases with giving. What increases with giving? Love. Real love. Not greeting card love, not romantic love. Those things can have real love in them. Real love is non-conditional and increases that which is beautiful for everyone involved. Compassion, kindness, beauty, creativity, truth, service. These things increase for everybody involved. And these are the things that will flow from integrity. A lack of integrity blocks that which we really want. What do we really want? After necessities, what we want is joy. We want to be happy. We want to be happy. We want to be peaceful. We want to lay our heads down at night and sleep the just sleep, the nourishing sleep of children, of those who are living clean, non-conflicted lives. And we can live non-conflicted lives in a conflicted world because we're adults. Adults meaning we have the possibility and the actual need to be self-sufficient, independent, above circumstances. Integrity. The narcissist does not understand integrity because the narcissist has drawn the identity so close. And it's such a false identity. The narcissist is so delicate, so easily taken off his or her center, so quick to blame, so impossible to take responsibility. And without responsibility, there's no integrity. With blame, there's no integrity. There is understanding that others may be responsible for certain situations, but blame is a projection of guilt. Forgive them, they know not what they do. What does blame do for me? All that blame does for me is make me feel above, which is back to the competitive, fearful identification. I must be better than you, or I am worse than you. Wow, that's pretty miserable. Where's the integrity in measuring against someone else? There's no integrity there. Integrity is recognition of the value of all other entities and of the connected, joined, unified entity. Integrity is the opposite of narcissism. It will not have different faces. It will not act this way with one person and that way with another person. It will not be internally conflicted and with different self-ideas and self-images depending on what happened, what just happened, or the mood or the circumstance, the bubbling traumas, the bubbling... Now, integrity is rare. And integrity is unbelievably powerful. It's liberation. Because once one is moving with and towards integrity, one is losing falseness. One has to be stripping the veils of false identity, cleaning the traumas that are underground and that are running our consciousnesses, running our lives. I read something really interesting today. It said, might have been yesterday, it said something about when something is when you feel like you need to blame something, the thing to do is to bless it, free it, and let it go. Because until that happens, it will come back. Because these feelings, these traumas, these pains, these underground things, when they come up and they manifest, oh, that person's so blame, anger, these things like that. When they come up, this is ourselves giving us the opportunity to see that there's something there that's in conflict. And we can either project it out, in which case it hasn't been dealt with. It's actually been fed and made stronger. And so what's inside hasn't been resolved. And the situation will come back and the feeling will come back a little stronger until we learn to bless it, which just means to surrender to it. Set it free and let it go. Means to be responsible, to see that that what's happening, the reaction is here. And what's out there is also having its own problems, its own difficulties. That person behaved terribly towards this person because that person is dealing with their own narcissism or fear and or worry and or anxiety and or trauma. So the way that part of the way, there's two sides to it. The thing that I read, that is half of it. Now that I'm feeling it, experiencing it, it's also an internal owning of the reaction. The blame is here. So the way that we take responsibility for it, watch it, be honest with it, and know that it's here no matter what caused it. Surrender to it, which means allow it to happen without a secondary emotion, without another feeling, another thought, a story. without pushing it down. Let it run its course like a storm. Be an adult. Stand there. Surrender to it. Don't project it outwards. Surrender to it. Have gratitude if possible. Ask for help if necessary, if you feel it. And in that process, there's what we do for the outside, which is called forgiveness, which is letting go of that and seeing that that is also struggling with its difficulties, which is integrity. Integrity is respect. How can you lie to someone that you respect? I lie to myself. It's a lack of self-respect. And that's a fact. A lack of self-respect. What am I afraid of? What I'm afraid of is that this artificial self-image isn't real. It's subconscious, of course. If it was conscious, then it would be being worked on. It's all subconscious. I really do believe I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a strong, smart, not good looking, tired, happy, whatever these constellation of things are. That's what I believe about myself. I'm holding it strong. The securities and the insecurities, the arrogances and the fears, all of these things. And they're not real. All that I am, finally, is. All that I am, finally, is. And if you're waiting for words to fill that space, please don't. All that I am, close your eyes. If you're in a safe place, please close your eyes. And say this. This is your voice coming from your heart. All that I am is. All that I am is. After the word is, let that space be. Don't fill it. There's a box at your feet called later. And after the word is, any thoughts and feelings that come, gently put them in the box called later. And come back to the empty space after that word is. All that I am is. All that I am is. Now that's a wonderful, wonderful place, isn't it? Isn't that a wonderful state? Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful, liberating space, liberating being? Isn't that a liberating lack of self-identification? Isn't that just a magnificently spacious, open, non-identification? And yet you are aware and conscious in that space. All that I am is. And there's a consciousness. And there's no words. And that is ultimately what I am. What you am. What we am. What I are, you are, we are. A lot of words. So we just had a brief experience, and please take the time to be still and to do these exercises. You can play this over again or find ways to create that space. Meditation has two functions. One is to create that space where the joy and the peace and the beauty automatically exist because all that's blocking it has been let gently go. And the other part of meditation is processing. As an 80-year-old friend of someone that I know said, her meditation is about cleaning. Beautiful. It's also about being aware and conscious of the difficulty and the traumas and the pains, and going through those steps that I keep repeating, which is awareness, surrender, gratitude, and asking for help. So to find the space and the time, nobody will do this for me. As adults, we do this for ourselves. It's the reprogramming, deprogramming, opening up, stripping away. We're not looking to find peace. We're not looking to find joy. We're not looking to find love. We're not looking to find compassion. We're not looking to find integrity. Although we can use these things, what we are doing is we are stripping away and cleaning that which is blocking what is automatically there. What I am is. What I am is. Stripped away, what I am is. Feel the space in the center of your chest. We're going to do this again. We're going to use the same phrase. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the center of our chest. Keep your eyes closed, please. And focus on the center of your chest. Could be your whole chest if you want. Now there's a light there. It can be pouring through the crown of your head if you want, or it can just be there, but there is light there. And we're going to say this phrase, and when the space comes, what I am is. When that space comes, put all of our consciousness, which means the center of what it is that's experiencing, put that into the center of the light in your heart, in the center of your chest, in that light. And just sit there. We're going to sit there for 30 seconds or a minute. Okay, so we're going to say what I am is, and we're going to have that spaciousness. If thoughts and feelings are interfering, put them gently in the box called later by our feet. And then there's the light in our chest. Big, beautiful, omnipresent, sourceless, but everywhere light. Center of our chest. Wow. When we have the space at the end of the phrase, we're going to go into that light and we're going to sit there and just be still for 30 or 60 seconds. Here we go. What I am is. What I am is. What I am is. Magnificent. This is the experience of being. We're not looking to add love. That love is always there in the center of your chest, in every molecule, atom, cell, structure, tissue, and then between tissues, but intracellular, then between bodies, then between stars, and between everything. This is the fabric of the universe. And as humans, adults, we can move towards this consciousness. I am love. What I am is that light. And in that light, and in that experience of love and truth and beauty and creativity and gorgeousness and endless space, and there's absolutely nothing contradicting it. There's none of the other things that we live our life in, that we're always running away from, trying to have some experience or take some substance, food, to try and escape from the fear and the anxiety and the worry. None of that was present. None of that is present in this state. And so in this state is automatic integrity. There cannot be a lie there. As soon as the lie comes in, the state is lost. It is blocked. And so when we lie to other people, don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Lying is spiritual and emotional and psychological suicide. Integrity. We want to reveal integrity, and we can use integrity. Integrity can almost be a mechanical thing, which means when we catch ourselves behaving in hypocritical ways or in manipulative ways or trying to get something from someone by not being authentic. If I want sex from you, that is not a bad thing. If I want attention from you, that is not a bad thing. If I want money from you, that is not a bad thing. Where it becomes non-integrous is where there's manipulation, and that's what we're taught. The sex, the money, the attention, those are the three big ones. That's where we lie. And then self-image and projection of image. What we think about ourselves, what we think others think about ourselves. Lie. Stop it. You're killing yourself. And you're not happy. Peace, joy. That's what we're here to do, to find, to reveal, and to shine and share and increase. Take the time. These are just tools. You can use these tools over and over. You can find other tools. These are tools. The only value that these have are not to make you and I feel better for the 45, 65, 70 minutes we're here together. These tools have value because they will, with constant and repetitive and disciplined use, to be obsessed with being happy is really what we're here for. To be obsessed with bringing happiness to others. It's not an obsession then. Then it's simply maturation. It seems obsessive because the rest of the world is obsessed with pleasure and comfort and denial and fear. And so that's what we've been conditioned. But now we're learning to take control as adults and be responsible, and to take the time to be still and to use these tools to slowly enter our unified, non-conflicted integrity, to slowly reveal that, to slowly build that, so that we can be in joy, and to be of joy and a source of joy for others, and peace and beauty and service and compassion and kindness and love. Take the time every day, morning and night, before sleep, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. 30 seconds if you don't have a habit yet. Just to begin the habit, just to put the 30 seconds of quiet. When you wake up, 30 seconds of quiet before you go to bed. And just take the time, 2 minutes here, 10 minutes there, to be still, to do the work, to contact the stripped away true self, and then also to process that which is stuck, clinging, manipulative, and lying within ourselves. Right? Love is with you. Love is who you are. We will see each other on Sunday. True Diamond Heart, if you need any support, you can contact, just leave a message there, post something there. We'll get back to you. If you have any ideas for future talks, any ideas for future activities, please. Thank you, and love always.